6 critical components make up the business plan for lawyers. 10 years putting this together, lots of iterations. Hopefully this is helpful for you to say, I went through all of these areas. I prepped, I went through this session, I got the targeted takeaways, and I'm building it out. I'm ready for my 30-minute session with Doug. A bit more on that coming. So congratulations. You've gone through that coaching session. I think that's awesome. A little bit more. The second most asked question I get, as I mentioned before, and this is super valuable when working with attorneys, is where do I spend my time? Say you've gone through that time budget earlier and you've said, I do have an hour a month I could spend doing this, or 2 hours a month. Or I'm an associate, I know I'm really busy, but I know I really need to build this now. Let me spend whatever, 5 hours a month. I'm going to spend an hour and a half a week doing this. But where, Doug? What would be the most effective and efficient? This all ties together. This is all an integrated approach, right? Your time is valuable. I totally get it. But if your time is consistently random acts of marketing and and budget spends, you're not going to be that efficient. You're not going to be that effective. Let's get a grip on this and let's look in those main areas that we were just talking about in relationship building and profile building. Here's what I would suggest. 50% of your time spent on existing clients, 25% of your time spent on existing referral sources. Why? Because a majority of your new matters come from those two sources. Let's have what you do mirror where your revenues are coming from and where your matters are coming from. Does that make perfect sense? Remember I mentioned earlier that some law firms are chasing new business from new clients with a lot of their efforts and resources and money. You might get there. There's 15% allocated there. But this, I found when working with lawyers that this really helps them breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, I have a plan. This makes sense. This is where I'm going to spend my time. Out of that hour a week, Doug says 15 minutes a week. We'll get to that. That's a whole nother module. It's really cool. But now I know where I need to be active. And it makes sense to me. Intuitively and actually, it makes sense to me. So here's how I would suggest. And knowing this helps structure your business development for sure. So enabling your success. Calendar, devoted time, regular review of business development plan, complete weekly worksheets. We'll get to that in a moment. When you're doing this, as humans, as lawyers, our natural inclination is to be task-based instead of time-based. Oh, I'm supposed to do 3 emails this week. I can do them in 5 minutes. I'm going to do them right now. Or Thursday morning. Don't say 3 emails a week or some other task. Carve out 30 minutes. Eventually you get to 15 minutes. Or, like I mentioned, if you're an associate, it's an hour and a half. Maybe you do it in one chunk. Hey, Wednesday afternoons at 4 o'clock, I set aside 30 minutes to do my weekly business development. And yes, I'm talking about doing it weekly. That's what those worksheets are about, and we'll talk about those in a second. But don't be task-based, be time-based and calendaring. Get it right there. Maybe it's Saturday morning with a cup of coffee before the house gets busy with kids. Whatever works for you. I had somebody suggest Monday morning. I was like, Monday morning? And it was funny because they were saying, well, I don't know what Wednesday at 4 o'clock looks like, but I certainly know what Monday morning looks like. So I have that kind of natural timer built into my system, and I'll associate that with, oh, that's right, from 8:30 to 9, I get ready for the week with the business development I want to do. What is that? Emails, sending articles. We'll talk about that in the takeaways. But I'm regularly reviewing my plan. So maybe the first thing I do, and I'm making the motion of pulling it off a shelf. If you print it out and put it in a little whatever binder, you pull it up on your screen. What did I say I was going to do? Right. Okay. Not 3 quick emails. I have time allocated and budgeted to carry out the actions that will help me achieve my goals. That last point, the weekly worksheets, I'm sending this along to you after we do our 30-minute session, maybe before we do our 30-minute session together, because this is just a really simple way to take goals and turn them into actions. And it's just 3 things to do each week. It's fairly standard business development protocol, taking larger concepts and ideas and turning it into simple, weekly 3 actions. And when we go over this, you'll see, yeah, those are things I can all achieve. If I didn't, next week, number 2 carries over to my following week, and then I add 2 to that week. Be upset with yourself if you didn't complete them. We'll go over that when we have our 30-minute session. But this is what I want you to do to enable your success, to build your structure. Take time, write it down, develop actions. Remember, you're in the elite level of lawyers already, even right now where we're sitting here. When you get these takeaways, take time to review those as well. It'll really help you kickstart your planning. You might say, like I mentioned there, okay, between prepping for this session, going through this session, doing quizzes if there were quizzes, getting the takeaways, I'm going to spend 4 hours, 5 hours. That's okay. But from that, I'm going to develop this 30-minute a week, weekly action based on all of this, focusing on 3 existing clients, 3 referral sources, and 3 new clients. Hopefully you see, okay, this all makes sense. This all ties together. And really, it addresses the questions I get, the 2 questions I get. How do I do a plan? Where do I spend my time? You're well on the way here. Totally thrilled about this. This is guaranteed to move the needle, right? It's going to help you realize your goals without a doubt. Get it out of your head, get it out of your mind, get it on paper, get it on your calendar, budget your time and your investment commitments. We went over that in your time budget and your actual monetary budget. Whew. Hey, you did it. Congratulations. There are some suggestions here on, I mentioned the 5 core. Why did I put all 4 of them up there? Okay, I put 3 of them up there. The 5 core modules that will really give you that foundation, will really give you that platform for elevating your success quickly. Introduction to business development. Create engaging client outreach. Building and creating and curating your referral network. Those 2 are so important. And then how to get it done in 15 minutes a week. And then the one we just did, the business development plan for lawyers. If you do those 5, yes, it's a commitment, but that's why you're here. We understand each other, lawyer to lawyer. You're going to get an offer for doing the other 4 that comes after you finish this session. Strongly encourage you to do those. You're already well on your way. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to working with you, to meeting with you, doing that 30-minute session with you. Any questions or follow-ups you have, here's my contact information. Start today. Don't reach out to me right away. Go through what I just talked about. Then your questions and our interaction are going to be even more valuable. Thank you so much.